Hello, Ariela. How are you?
Hello. How are you both?
Very well. You?
Good, thank you. I'm glad to hear you guys are both safe and doing well.
Nice to see you.
You too. Sorry, I'm just
Uh,
turning up the volume. There we go.
Remember that you must speak slow.
Very slow. I'm working on it. I'll do my best.
We are. We wait. We speak a little bit, and we wait. Some people they are connecting
Mhm.
now, from from Argentina, from England, from of course
Hello,
Spain and
everyone.
Italy. We are speaking with Arielafigueroa, Taekwondo Worldwide. Wow,
Mhm.
a lot of people.
You,
How?
you
Yes.
speak Spanish? No.
Muy poquito. Very, very little. I'm learning. I just started classes online. I started this week.
Now you
Wow.
have more time, no?
Yes, exactly. No excuses not to.
Maestro Silvia, we translate only in Italian and English, ok?
Okay.
Maestro
Yes.
Silvia, se parlava italiano,
No,
spanish,
spagnolo.
spagnolo, ha detto che un pochettino, che ha iniziato a studiare adesso questa settimana.
Che
Eh,
adesso ha più
Ha
tempo
più
per
tempo
studiare.
libero. Si qualcuno de argentino que hable castellano quiere hacer una pregunta, la haga en inglés, la escribo en inglés y la traducimos.
O en
Sí,
castellano igual, la traducimos.
sí, o en castellano, la traduzo sí. I say to the people from Spain or who speak
Mm,
in Spanish, if they want to ask something, they can write there and
yeah.
say, okay,
Perfect.
È collegato anche Maurizio Lai e può tradurre lui.
our student. Many
Nice.
market from
So,
the north of Spain, many people. Nice.
how is the situation there? Which city? Where you come from?
Right now, I'm in Las Vegas.
Las Vegas.
Ah, wow.
Las Vegas. You guys ever been?
Yes,
Yes,
we've been
last
Yes.
2 years
2 years
ago.
ago. Yes.
2 years ago. Was it fun? Did you have fun?
Yes,
Yes.
very fast
Very,
because
Yes.
very hot.
Yes, very hot. Right
Uh,
now, it's very rare. It's raining, but
ah,
the city has pretty much shut down. No
uh-huh.
hotels, no shows,
Yes,
no
so
clubs, no bars.
too
So
strange.
it's,
yeah.
yeah, same
Uh,
there.
and we translate. Ha
Mhm.
detto che lei sta abitando a Las Vegas adesso, che conosciamo Las Vegas, le abbiamo detto che sì, e che adesso, bueno, che sta piovendo e che non c'è niente aperto, no? E si fa tutto molto strano. And,
Ciao Adri,
Adriano Riccio, hello.
Ale Vesiere.
Sì. But before Las Vegas, where did you live?
I live all over the place. Before this, I was living in Oregon. I was teaching up
Ah,
there. I was
okay.
teaching Taekwondo full time.
Uh-huh.
Before that, I was in San Jose, California, training under Master LeGros. I'm under Master Cody Springstooth out of Grove, Oklahoma right now. So I train all over the place. There's no school in Las Vegas right now. So when I
Okay.
train, I have to go to other people. I go and travel to go and train.
Ok. Le abbiamo chiesto, bueno, Grandmaster Boss is
Okay, go
seeing
on.
this,
Hello, sir.
so be careful with what you speak.
Ooh. The pressure's on now. Now the sweat.
Careful what I translate.
Mhm.
No,
Ha detto che lei prima era nell'Oregon, che fa taekwondo a tempo pieno come istruttore, che adesso è a Las Vegas, ma comunque si è mossa anche in altre città.
sì.
Non chiedetemi i nomi dei maestri perché li ha detti troppo veloci.
Can you repeat the name of your instructor? Because you...
Master Cody
Ah,
Springstooth.
okay. Cody Shrimsum.
Yes, German name,
For my
Springstooth.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
how long are you living in Las Vegas?
I've lived here since I was 9 years old. I'm originally from New York, so I
Ah,
go back there like every 2 or 3 months, or I did to visit family, and I also go and train out there frequently with Queen's Taekwondo Center with Grandmaster Suarez. I love them. I go out there as often as I can.
uh-huh. Ah, ok.
Ha detto che
Uh,
lei viene da New York, che ogni 2 o 3 mesi andava lì per trovare la famiglia.
No,
Però da quando ha 9 anni a Vegas.
Well, and do you like casino?
I like to party. I don't like to gamble. Does that make, yeah, that makes sense. I miss the clubs. I like going out with friends. I like having fun, but I don't gamble too much. I'm bad at it. I'm bad at math.
Ah, ok.
Ha detto che le piace stare con gli amici e fare festa, ma non gioco d'azzardo, non è brava.
And I lost all my money in casino. No, I never.
Yeah.
I never.
Yeah.
I never go. I never go.
I don't know how to play poker. I'm the only one in Las Vegas who doesn't even know how to play poker. I'm bad at gambling.
Ah, ok.
Che non sa giocare a poker.
Like me.
Yeah.
Well, I see. The difference that you live there. No.
Yeah, exactly.
So how you think about Argentina? Okay, Carlos, dame un minuto, Carlos, que pregunto un poquito cómo está la situación ahí y después le hago la pregunta. Carlos asked you something, but
what do I think of Argentinian competitors?
Yes. But first of all, we want to know how is the situation there with the people with this problem that
Yeah.
virus and yes.
I just read a report today that New York has the most cases out of any country in the world. So my thoughts and prayers go out to all my family in New York, all my friends in New York. I wish there was something we all could do other than just keep them in our prayers and ask them to stay safe. There's no food shortages here in Las Vegas. We're just having to buy things in limits. So you'll be limited to like one chicken breast, one roll of toilet paper, things like that, just to keep it for everyone so that there's no rioting, no looting. So far, it's under control.
Wow.
Allora, ha detto che ovviamente ha molti familiari e molte persone a New York. New York, come sapete, è l'area più colpita in tutto il mondo come densità di casi. E quindi ovviamente preocupazione.
Sí, digamos, que no permiten comprar tantas cosas, digamos, que tienen que prender tipo ¿cómo se dice? Un trozo de papel higiénico. Una confezione di cosa perché se no non rimane niente, è molto
Scusate per la traduzione, se capite l'inglese è meglio perché è difficile anche per loro.
We are excusing for our translation.
That's okay. I'm trying to pick up on the words.
Yeah. And so how many days are you in the blog there?
I actually started my own kind of self-quarantine when I got back from England at the beginning of March. So I've been quarantined in my house for about 30 days now, almost a full month. But I try and go out and exercise as much as I can. But when I do have to go to the store, I wear a mask, I wear gloves. I try and protect myself as much as I can. But it's impossible to stay in the house for 30 days. I have to go outside. I have to walk my dog.
You have a dog?
I do. I have a little fat English bulldog named Spanky.
Ha detto che lei è in quarantena più o meno come noi in Italia dall'inizio marzo, da quando è tornata dall'Inghilterra, e che comunque cerca di tenersi attiva e comunque quando esce prende tutte le precauzioni, la maschera, i guanti e poi che deve portare i cani.
Bulldog.
Cage.
And how was the championship in England? You be there?
I was there for the Warrior Open for Master Johan de Silva and Tim Cool's tournament.
Yes.
And we're not used to those size tournaments in the States. And to see that level of efficiency all in one day was just incredible.
Yeah. So
very, very good tournament. Very, very good. I injured myself a few days beforehand, so I wasn't able to compete. And now I deeply regret it because who knows when the next competition will be. But it was a very good tournament. I look forward to going back next year.
È andata a Londra per il Warrior Open, andata qualche giorno anche prima per visitare, insomma, per stare un po' lì, però le è piaciuta tantissimo l'esperienza, la gara, anche se era tutto in un giorno, sì, le è piaciuta tantissimo.
But you must come to Open too.
I plan on it, absolutely.
Yeah.
I was hoping to this May, actually. I was looking into flights to go to the Ibiza camp, then the training camp, hopefully with the solo days, and then the Barada camp. I was hoping to go to you guys. I wanted to make a whole season out of it. Next year.
Yeah,
sure.
Yes, next year.
Le ho detto che doveva venire, ovvio, al campionato di Sardegna.
Ha detto che era già pianificato.
Avevamo parlato già con lei un paio di volte riguardo a questo.
Il calendario è pieno, però per l'anno prossimo.
Allora, so I ask you two questions. The small one, if you have a boyfriend.
Do I have a boyfriend? I keep that to myself. I keep personal life and taekwondo are different.
Okay.
Parliamo di taekwondo.
Okay. The second one is from Carlos. Did you read, no? What do you think about the Argentinian competitors?
I think they're amongst the best in the world, among the top 5 every year, whether it's the World Cup, World Championships, they're amongst the top competitors in the world, without a doubt.
Hanno chiesto che opinava, che pensava degli atleti d'Argentina. Lei ha risposto che sono dello migliore del mondo, diciamo.
Li metterebbe nella top 5, che sono sempre molto competitivi alle Coppe del Mondo, ai mondiali.
Top 5, so first place.
Ooh.
Number 5.
Who are my top 5 countries?
Yeah, 5 countries.
It depends on the event. I think, I mean, in all, oh my God, you guys are putting me on the spot here.
Ho detto che scelga 5 top 5.
They have to be within the countries within Europe, because I think that you guys get so much more opportunities to compete so much more often.
Yes.
Right now, I think number 1 in the world is, in terms of medal count, is probably Norway. I think they've been on top for a long time. They've always had very strong competitors,
yes.
Especially Italy coming out with you two. You guys always have sparring handled down. You always have the team patterns prearranged. I mean, you guys are multiple world champions. I mean, Silvia, Farigu, you're alone. You're an icon. You are my hero.
So Italy, the second place?
Just in terms of medal count, because I think Norway has more people on their team.
Yeah. Because their master boss is...
No.
Who knows? I think it would have been different this year in Slovenia with being so close to Italy. I think so many people would have gone, are going to go to the World Cup if it's still happening. That's going to change. The medal count will change soon.
Yeah.
Allora, dice che la Norvegia per lei in questo momento è veramente competitiva, sia come qualità degli atleti che sono competitivi in tutte le specialità, e anche come quantità. E poi ha nominato anche l'Italia, che comunque si difende sempre bene.
I also think the Netherlands I think they're a phenomenal team. The Netherlands is very good. Master Mayor's team out of Finland is just, they have my highest praise. I think they're amazing. So there's so many schools to name. There's so many countries to name that I could go on all day, but it's hard to put them in order because I'm always going to be like, oh, but there's first person and this person and forget about this and that. So there's so many.
Yes.
Che ci sono comunque tantissimi paesi che livello è alto, che comunque ha detto anche prima che dipende dalle competizioni. Adesso ha nominato anche l'Olanda. Poi ha iniziato a parlare velocissimo, quindi è troppo lungo da tradurre.
The last part that you speak, we couldn't understand. It was very slow and the last part very fast.
Too fast. It changes so often because people will change ranks. And so that could mean that the top competitors in the 3rd degree division will soon make it to the 4th degree division. So the countries of who I think is best will change any given tournament.
Sì, sta dicendo come che il livello è molto alto, quindi in ogni campionato diciamo che vince uno diverso, quindi non saprebbe come scegliere più o meno.
Sì, è anche molto.
It's very difficult to Yes.
Exactly. Yes.
It's Silvio Gamboa from Argentina.
Hey,
Yeah.
good to see you, Silvio.
Axel.
Axel Vargas.
Axel, we just had a boxing class together the other day
Yeah.
with Master da Silva.
Yes, Marcelo Silva.
Hmm.
And we started with about your when you beginner, when you start taekwondo, and yes, where, why.
First international competition.
I read the magazine, and I know why, but I want to
Hear it. Yeah. I always wanted to do martial arts ever since I was a kid. It's funny when people would knock on the door or ring the doorbell, I was like a guard dog and I would just kick them no matter who it was. It was crazy. So it was either soccer or taekwondo for me. And so my parents decided we might as well have her protect herself. And so when we moved to Las Vegas from New York, my family thought it would be a good idea for me to make friends that way. It was just, we moved during the summer, so school hadn't started yet. And so I joined because I'd always wanted to be the Pink Power Ranger. I saw that on TV. I liked kicking.
Allora, ha detto che ha voluto fare arti marziali, devo fare un riassunto.
Che le gustava dare i calci, le piaceva fare i calci anche se era facendo calcio.
No, che gli hanno detto se fare il calcio o arti marziali.
Io avevo capito l'oltre.
E poi dopo, quando è andata a Las Vegas, quando si è spostata, poi ha iniziato, anche la famiglia gli ha detto così, anche per difendere anche loro.
E poi ha detto che si è ispirato, le piaceva molto il Power Ranger, il Pink Power Ranger?
Yes, the pink one, yes.
Trotter.
Mark Trotter. Mark Trotter is to say that he worked like a Power Ranger.
Yes.
Pink.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Wow. Yeah.
So
but,
did you think about to do something like do Mark Trotter in Tegu? Something.
I've never thought about going down that route of TV and movies simply because it's never been just an opportunity in my life.
Okay.
I just went from high school to college. And then from there, I just started continuing and teaching Taekwondo. So my life has been more about competition. And I've lived in California. I lived in San Diego for 6 years. I lived in San Jose for Berkeley area for about 2. But I just never had the opportunity to try movies and TV. I wouldn't turn it down. I just never had the opportunity.
Ok.
Ha detto che non ha mai avuto. Le ha chiesto Christian se ha mai pensato di fare qualcosa di visione, visto che stiamo parlando anche di Mark Trotter che appunto faceva
il doppio
figura,
sì.
E ha detto che comunque lei non ha avuto mai l'opportunità, che ha vissuto anche a San Diego, si è spostata in diversi posti ma non ha mai avuto l'opportunità e poi comunque dopo il college poi ha iniziato a insegnare subito taekwondo, quindi non c'è stata l'opportunità.
Carlos asked, does she play soccer? Do you play soccer?
With friends, not competitively.
With
friends?
With friends, but not competitively.
Okay.
I like to play all sports. I'll play any sports, but Taekwondo has my heart. Taekwondo is my passion.
Le piacciono tutti gli sport, gioca a calcio, diciamo, con gli amici, no? In una squadra. E però il taekwondo è number one.
But I read that you like rock climb.
I like to rock climb, I do. Because it's like, I have to trick myself into working out. Because like, I hate going on a run, I get bored. And so if the idea is like, oh, go climb the mountain, I'll get an upper body workout while tricking myself so I don't have to do push-ups.
Ah, ok.
Le piace scalare e lo fa anche come allenamento.
And so, because I love climb.
Yeah, you do?
Yeah, I like a lot.
Yeah.
There are not too many mountains.
Friends and mountains.
Yeah.
So,
All of the trails here are closed, so I have to sneak on to different areas to be able to go where I want to. So the video I put up the other day is a secret location.
C'è una località
okay.
segreta.
When I go to Las Vegas, we go to Klein.
Yes, definitely.
After the casino.
Definitely.
After,
Yeah.
Because
Yes.
2 years ago, we didn't go into the casino. So
Okay.
I
Yeah.
charge $1.
You'll stay for 2 nights. I'll take you out. We'll make a few nights of it.
Okay. Which is wait a second, I don't understand my letter. It's about the national team. Okay.
Mhm.
Say when you go in the national team, and how is the selection there? How you train with the national team?
Mhm. Well, I'm fairly new to the U.S. team. I've actually, this in Germany was only my second time on it.
Okay.
So the way they've been doing it lately was they have qualifiers within the United States.
Okay.
And then at the national championship, you have to place at least one qualifier. I think it's first or second place in order to go to nationals. And then at nationals is the team selection and the individual selection. So unless you haven't placed at the qualifiers, then you can't go to nationals. And then you have to win first or second at nationals to go to the team.
Che gli permettono di andare.
Fai la domanda in italiano.
Come
Okay,
funzionano le
sì.
selezioni per la nazionale. Ha detto che lei comunque da poco, diciamo, che
Sì,
fa
che lei
gare.
dal campionato mondiale d'Irlanda 2017 che forma parte della nazionale, che più o meno si fanno la qualificazione per entrare al nazionale.
Il
Al
campionato
campionato
nazionale,
nazionale.
dove scelgono sia gli individuali che le squadre.
Poi esatto, scendono tutti. And did you try to do by teams too?
That's when they also do the team selections.
Uh-huh.
But most of the time, I think that the head coaches will look at the individual sparring matches.
Okay.
And then choose from there, because we often go, we call it round robin, where you have to go against everyone. So even if you lose once, you keep going.
Yes, I understand.
Because just because you may have one bad fight, that's not a reflection of how you often fight or how you've been training. So
Yes.
they want to see you fight as many rounds as you can, and same thing with patterns.
Che fanno anche con le forme, sia nelle forme che nel combattimento, fanno gli incontri, il girone all'italiana sarebbe, cioè tutti contro tutti, così vedono più incontri, anche perché cioè, ritengono che magari con un incontro diretto può non essere sufficiente o ci può essere un cattivo,
sì, una cosa di fortuna magari. Sì, perché le ho chiesto se lei ha pensato di entrare con la squadra e ha detto che ha provato, però quello che è il sistema è così.
Sistema.
Sì. And if you must do a pattern, do you want to do patterns, sorry, teams? Do you like more the patterns teams or sparring team or special?
Because the United States is so large, it's very difficult for people to be able to train together. So I don't think the US has ever done a team pattern, but I would love the opportunity. I've always wanted to be on a team pattern so badly. I think it looks like moving art. It looks like a moving art piece. And I just think it's so beautiful. And I would love to try and create that myself, but it's so hard to get people to line up to travel together, to take time off work and their families together. And within the US, it's very expensive to fly.
Ha detto che a lei piacerebbe tantissimo fare l'esperienza delle forme a squadre, però che gli Stati Uniti sono un territorio enorme, quindi è molto difficile anche potersi incontrare poi per lavorare, però sì, sarebbe un suo desiderio poter fare questa esperienza e trovare questo tipo di competizione.
And what about the power special techniques? Did you do you like it?
I have medaled in other organizations for power breaking. It's not my favorite because as the boards go up in number, I feel that me at 50 kilograms, I'm not going to generate the power that I need to get through 3 or 4 boards without putting on that extra mass, and that would slow me down for patterns.
Ok, capito. Lei ha detto che io le ho chiesto che opina della tecnica speciale o di potenza, se lei sarebbe interessata a fare quello. Ha detto che pesa 50 kg, che diciamo che ha fatto in un'altra organizzazione, però si è reso conto che con 50 kg è difficile anche rompere 3-4 tavole, quindi si è, diciamo, concentrato sulla parte di forma.
And sparring? Did you start with sparring?
I used to spar competitively. I still train sparring just for my own fitness and self-defense, but I have a medical condition that doesn't allow me to spar anymore. My kidney that you're supposed to have in your backs, one of mine sits in front of my belly button. And so every time I get kicked in the kidney.
Can you repeat, please?
Your kidneys are in your lower back.
Ah, ok, sì.
One of mine sits in front of my belly button.
Ok, sì.
And so any stomach shot, I take a kidney shot.
Ok, che sì, che diciamo che lei lo fa più per autodifesa e per mantenersi in forma, eccetera, però come ha un problema, sì, in la parte, non so capito se l'anca o la gamba,
a livello
per
lombare.
quello, esatto, bueno, a livello lombare magari non può
il rignone, no, aspetta, ci stanno aiutando qua.
Riñón, gracias Carlos, ok. Riñón. Chi lei? Bravo Carlos, muy bien. Students say that 50 kilograms, that is like most power
breaker's leg. Yes. Yes, I know. I know that.
Ha detto che il riñone si è spostato al stomaco. Gracias Carlos. La próxima te conectamos a vos directamente y traducís vos. I said to him, he must be online to translate.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
È che quando prende un colpo allo stomaco la prende al riñone. Quindi niente di quello che avevo tradotto io. He say different things that I said.
Yeah.
So, with the organization was before?
Before this one, I was in Grandmaster Wong's UITF.
UITF. Okay.
And then before that, I was in the USTF under Grandmaster Serif.
Yes.
I had always wanted to be in this organization since I saw the World Cup in Brighton, England, but I didn't have a connection. I didn't have a way in until I had reconnected with my instructor, Master Springsguth. In right before the World Championships in Italy, in like 2015, I joined this organization.
Ok, le ho chiesto che organizzazione stava prima.
È stata in due organizzazioni differenti, ma già dalla Coppa del Mondo di Brighton avevo visto com'era il livello qua, volevo venire in questa, e poi dal 2015, quando c'è stato il mondiale in Italia, hanno fatto il cambio.
And who were your, come si dice, referentes? Carlos, ayúdame. Who were your...
People that inspire you?
Yes.
Who do I look up to in Taekwondo?
Yes, maybe in Taekwondo, yes.
In Taekwondo? I have the idols, of course, when it comes to sparring. I am the biggest fan of the Dragon. I'm a big fan of him, of Tomas Murata, of course, Katia Solove, Julia Cross when it comes to pattern. Silvia she's my ultimate. She's what I try and live up to. So I'm sorry if it sounds like I'm kissing your ass right now, but I've never got the chance before. So thank you for being my personal hero of what I'm trying to live up to in patterns.
Thank you.
I love Isabel Bonds. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, I'm translating. Ho chiesto
Oh,
chi era
okay.
il riferimento di lei come taekwondista, ha detto ovvio Katia,
Tappilato,
Tappilato, Toma Barada,
Julia Cross.
Giulia Cross, una parte de forma, Silvia, la che le sta leccando un po', però bueno, ve lo doveva dire, no? Continue, please.
I'm a big fan of Isabel Bonds, Maxime Bujold. I'm a big fan of people that come out of Canada. Maybe it's because the closest country to me, that's who I get to look at the most as well.
Ha detto anche di Isabel Bond e Maxime del Canada, il livello generale del Canada che è molto alto, quindi volevo rimanere anche
I love Isabel Bond. Really love.
Yeah.
Maxime, maybe is, now the people are speaking about like Tapilatus, Thomas Barada.
Yeah.
No, but
exactly.
Maxime was a great champion.
He did everything.
He won a lot, and maybe
Yeah.
we are in Europe and we think speak only with Thomas Barada, Tapilatus.
Yeah.
No, of course they are great, but now
there's a generation there that we're missing that we're not considering. Yeah.
I love Maxime. Yeah.
We went on vacation right before Germany. I met Maxime and his girlfriend in San Diego, and we trained every day. We went to the beach. I brought them back here to Las Vegas, and it was amazing because we would have like a bonfire, and I would just be able to pick his brain about Taekwondo and his experiences. So I've been very, very blessed to be able to train with some of my heroes.
Ha detto che lei, bueno, ovvio che seguiva molto la persona del Canada, e ha nominato a Isabel Bon, a Maxime, e Maxime è una persona che ha vinto tanto, è stato un riferimento anche per me da molto tempo, me l'ha fatto ricordare adesso, solo che le ho detto che la gente parla sempre dei tipici nomi come Tapilato, Tomo Barada, Oleg, perché siamo in Europa, perché ancora continuano in promozione, diciamo. Ovvio sono della leggenda, sono incredibili, ma Maxima ha fatto tantissimo e adesso mi ha fatto ricordare quello e ha detto che loro sono stati in California, che sono andato con lei, che si sono allenati e che lei si è sentito onorata di andare con il suo di prepararsi con loro
che erano dei suoi idoli.
Sì. And about the Ireland World Championships, speak about what did you feel. Of course, we know that you won and you did great. What was everything? How was everything there?
That was my very first World Championships.
Allora, stiamo chiedendo le sue sensazioni del mondiale in Irlanda, dove ha vinto, e lei ha detto che era la sua prima partecipazione a un campionato del mondo.
So
it is, I started training for 2017. I started training in 2014. That's when I began my training for it. That's when I had my eyes on the prize.
Ok, 2014 ha iniziato a allenare. Ok, che ha iniziato a allenarsi per quello del 2014.
La gara era il 2017.
Yeah. So just for Ireland, I trained for 3 years, 6 days a week, twice a day, 2 to 3 times a day.
Che soltanto per l'Irlanda lei si è allenata, diciamo, 3 anni, con 6 volte alla settimana, anche 2 o 3 volte al giorno. Quindi si è dedicata completamente a quello.
The other organization that I had come from did their patterns much old school style. Yes. So more emphasis on power and hip rotation rather than natural movement and sine wave.
Yes.
So I had to adapt. It took me 3 years just to adapt my patterns to where I thought the standard was here. And I just became obsessed with it. Not the idea of winning worlds, but just the obsessed with the idea that I have to fix these patterns. that I love Taekwondo so much and that I wasn't up to standard. So I had to fix myself and I just became obsessed with it.
Ha detto che ha dovuto adattare lo stile e quindi si è dedicata totalmente a quello, al movimento a onda, a dover rifinire esatto tutti questi dettagli, che non era l'obiettivo, diciamo, cioè, non pensava a vincere, ma di raggiungere un buon livello per poter gareggiare lì il suo obiettivo era veramente fare questo cambio di stile.
Sì. No. I like that what do you say, because we came from another organization too, and it was for my case was little similar.
Yeah, where you had to adjust
many things, and it was hard, and it took around 2 years to try to do the patterns more or less.
Exactly.
So it was very hard.
Dice Gilles, that's what the true passion looks like.
Yes, very much.
Yes.
That's perseverance and indomitable spirit. I try and think of the tenets when I train.
Che pensava a questi principi quando si allenava. E comunque cioè, si è allenata veramente tantissimo ed era veramente determinata. Da ammirare veramente.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
What was the first thing that you thought when you won?
At the time, I couldn't see the screen on the television. And so I just told myself, like, I don't believe it, because I also didn't really know how to read the screen at the time, to be honest. And so I was just like assuming I did not win until I saw the judge, the head umpire, raise his hand. And that's when it just, I couldn't, but it was just shock. It's jaw dropping. And I think what really helped me win that, because so many people ask me what was the one thing that put me over the edge, that helped me win.
Put me over? Sorry?
I think many people ask me, what was it about me that helped me win? What set me over the edge? And I think it was because I didn't care about winning as much as I cared about being in love with that moment.
Okay.
Allora ha detto che non vedeva lo schermo, quindi non ha visto il verdetto subito, e quando hanno alzato la mano è rimasta scioccata e che pensa che
molti le hanno chiesto che sentiva lì, lei
ha detto che lei non stava pensando a vincere, ma era lì concentrata stava vivendo quello che stava
godendo il momento, diciamo.
Sì.
Okay. And it's something, did you saw something, what do you remember of that tournament, but not about your result? Something, what do you say, wow, I like this tournament because I saw this too?
I loved that tournament because it felt like the Olympic Village, where everyone was in one place.
Italy,
yes, like you could. No, it wasn't that way. No. I missed nationals in Italy by 2 weeks. I couldn't go, but I made it for Ireland, obviously. But I love that about Ireland was that I get very starstruck very easily. Like I don't know how I'm keeping calm right now talking to you two, because you two are just like icons to me. And so I respect you two so much.
Yeah, you start good, but after
I go too fast.
You fly.
See, yeah.
Che le è piaciuto molto perché erano tutti insieme, che la villa olimpica dove si ospedavano tutti, il palazzetto da fianco, quindi quello le è piaciuto molto.
And so it was after that?
Yes, after the
second part.
You say that you like it because
okay. I get starstruck like, oh, there's Katya, and there's Silvia, there's Christian, there's Grandmaster Boss, I get a very fangirl, like, autograph.
Yes. Che ha visto, che dopo vedeva che c'era tanta gente come vos, come Silvia, come Katia, come bla bla bla, no?
Anche tu.
No, mi no.
Mhm.
Oh, like,
And so it was cool to like go to breakfast and to see my role models, my heroes right there.
Era bellissimo andare scendere giù a fare colazione, vedere i suoi
tutti.
idoli, le persone, i suoi eroi, diciamo.
That's very nice.
Mhm.
That's nice. I like it very much, that championship. And
Yeah.
remember one the worst tournament that you participate?
The worst one?
Yes.
Yes.
One that is say, oof.
There's some. I don't want to. I'll choose to stick to my performance at that tournament rather than organizations or organizers. So there's one tournament that stuck out to me that I hated.
Your performance, so you don't.
Yeah. Thank you. My first international event was the World Cup in 2016 in Budapest.
In Budapest. Ah, okay.
In Budapest. And I as I was going into the ring, you could see me shaking. I was so scared watching the videos. You can see my legs shake. I was terrified. And I was going up against a former Canadian medalist. I don't remember which year, but I know she had won before. And I had won my first round with Kwang Gae. And I was...
Che se ricorda che il campionato la Coppa del Mondo di Budapest, dove lei prima di entrare era tremando e alla fine nella prima forma stava vincendo lei con Kwang Gae.
Mm-hmm. And I won, and then my confidence was so high. I was feeling so good about myself.
So, come stava vincendo, la fiducia in lei ha aumentato, ha salito.
That I lost focus.
Ha perso l'obiettivo, il foco.
Yes, and the next round, I did the wrong pattern.
Ah, yeah? The wrong pattern?
Yes.
Ah, okay.
They asked for, I think they called for the second on pattern, Changzhang, and I did blue belt pattern, Jungun.
He said that, no, ha detto che, bueno, ovvio che ha preso un sacco di fiducia e che poi ha sbagliato la forma, che invece di fare una forma del secondo dan ha fatto una cintura colorata.
And that's when I really shifted my training, not so much physical at that point, but mental training.
But did you finish the pattern?
I got about halfway when I realized that all the judges had just stopped looking at me and only looked at the other girls. I just stopped. Save my energy for sparring. Just save it. Just stop.
That this is these things.
They happen.
They happen, but they help to learn more.
Exactly. And then the next year, I won the World Championships.
Yes.
So I needed to lose in order to learn.
Ha detto che aveva bisogno di perdere per poi imparare, e poi l'anno dopo quando ha vinto il mondiale, che questa esperienza diciamo che le ha fatto scattare anche l'idea di mettere un po' meno sulla parte fisica e più sulla parte anche di allenamento mentale.
So, do you went to World Championship and World Cup?
Yes.
What the things that you like more in
both?
In both, because they are different.
They are.
People, what do you like more, World Cup or World Championship? In my case is World Cup. I like more World Cup.
Interesting.
I love it, Budapest.
Yeah.
But
I can see both.
Ireland was great for me.
Yeah.
Great, but what
Budapest was number one. I feel that the World Cup gives more opportunity to see some of the best in the world. Because like, let's take Argentina, for example. just because those are the members on the team doesn't mean that the people who also did not try out are not phenomenal, because that's an amazing country. And so it gives more opportunity for some of the best in the world to be showcased in case they didn't make their team for whatever reason. And so I think the competition can sometimes be more difficult.
Ha detto che la Coppa del Mondo può dare più opportunità. Che differenze ci sono tra la Coppa del Mondo e il campionato mondiale?
Che piace
quale
più?
Preferisce? E dice che nella Coppa del Mondo ci possono essere più opportunità anche di dimostrare chi è veramente più bravo a livello mondiale, perché non ci sono limiti di partecipazione alle selezioni, come per esempio in un paese come l'Argentina, che può portare un numero illimitato di atleti, e quindi la Coppa del Mondo può essere anche più complicata e più difficile di un campionato del mondo.
But in the World Cup you do one pattern.
Yes, one pattern.
One round, yes, one round, and one round in sparring. Do you like it?
I prefer two patterns, just because I feel my fourth degree patterns are my best patterns. And so it just gives me that extra little round. It gives me that extra little shot, that extra little chance.
Ha detto che lei preferisce due forme perché sì, le forme di quarto round sono più competitive, quindi facendo anche la seconda forma ha più possibilità, diciamo.
So if you want to choose, if you need, must choose World Cup or World Championship?
Ooh. I think I'm going to say the World Championships. I'm going to say that because that's there's just something to be able to say that I compete at the World Championship level, or I have been to the World Championships, I am going to the World Championships. There's just a certain pride that comes with that, I feel.
Yes.
That not many people in their lifetime will be able to get to say.
Yes,
che non tutti possono dire di aver fatto il campionato del mondo, quindi per lei, diciamo, tra le due sceglie il campionato mondiale.
Yes. And what do you think about that in the World Championship they are not veterans?
What do you mean?
Because in World Cup you have
age division.
Oh, okay. I understand.
Do you think that will be better put in a World Championship some veteran theory or not?
I think that 18 years old, if we can have that level at the World Championships, that's the standard there, then I don't think that it should be changed. But I understand at the World Cup that would open up for more people to be able to compete, to say that they also can compete at that level. So let's say someone in the veteran division that may be in the Harmony program wants to compete, but they're not going to be able to, let's say, keep up with the athleticism of someone in their mid-20s. And so I think it gives them more opportunities for other people that may not be at the most elite level, but can still take part in ultra level championships.
E con la Coppa del Mondo comunque hanno anche l'opportunità di partecipare a un livello mondiale, anche persone diciamo più grandi.
Che ya non cambiaría, che lo lasciaría così.
Yeah.
Sì, esatto.
I always want to compete in the younger division, so I'll fake my ID. I never want to grow up. I'm Peter Pan. And so I always want to stay with the 18 to 34-year-olds. That's where I want to stay, where it's the toughest.
Carlos, que está súper activo. Grande Carlos.
Which is your favorite pattern?
Ooh, I love Ulji and Moon Moo. It's between those two. Ulji, it's because it's very technical. I think it's hard to get back on the same spot. And I think Moon Moo is just, when done correctly, it's just so beautiful to look at.
Yes. I think you are the first one that hear Ulji, because usually all the people don't like Ulji because like Ariel.
Exactly, yeah. I
Wow.
like it though. Something about it. I just really like it. And maybe
And
it's because I won the world championship with it. That may be a little bias right there, but I love that pattern.
but if you are the color blue, you must move
Hmm.
and you must think about the ring and
Yes,
many
He's very
things are
stressed.
yes,
it
it is
is.
stress.
It
Eh,
is. It's hard to get back in the same spot.
Carlos ha chiesto qual era la forma preferita di lei, le ha detto due forme,
Ooh.
il mumu, quella che dove sono tantissimi calci, lenti, eccetera, molto equilibrio, che a lei le piace molto
È
di
anche bella
vedere.
da vedere. Sì.
E
Mhm.
invece l'altra è una forma un po' strana, che è molto più tecnica, che le piace molto, che è anche del quarto dan, però io le stavo dicendo che è una forma dove uno deve stare pensando di non uscire del quadrato, perché chi non la
Per non
conosce, no?
scontrarsi con
E non
l'altro
scontrarsi, quindi
avversario.
se uno parte del lato sinistro, che è il colore blu, se deve spostare, e l'arbitro ti
Mhm.
lascia spostare in una determinata...
Poco.
sì, esatto, poco, quindi tu stai un po' con quella pressione dell'espazio anche. And
Il color belt pattern.
color belt patterns?
Mm. I like Chung Mu because of that flying side kick to land without a double bounce, but just to land smoothly and then into the knife hand guarding block. I really like that technique.
Mi piace
La parte del doglio chuggy?
no, il calcio
Hmm.
poi.
Ah, the side kick, flying side kick.
Yes.
Ah, ok.
Yes.
Vedi
To
anche
land that with one sine wave, to land, come up and down. I find you need to be very athletic to do that. And to watch people do it is just beautiful. I love people being able to see that rhythm and that flow.
ha detto che la cosa che le piace di più di Chumu è il calcio laterale in volo, ma soprattutto come devi atterrare con il massimo controllo, anche il movimento a onda, e adora le persone che fanno bene in quella parte.
So you like champ too?
I'm not good at it, but I like to do it.
Mi abbiamo chiesto se mi piace saltare, ha detto non sono brava ma mi piace.
How old are you?
I turned 30 this year.
30.
30. I've been doing this for 21 years now.
21 years of taekwondo.
Yes.
99 on September 99. Just
Yes. You got it. You read the article. That's it.
I read your book.
Yeah, that's it.
Interview.
Yes.
A 21 anni fa di praticare taekwondo e ne ha 30.
Io le ho detto che ha iniziato a settembre perché ho letto l'intervista che le hanno fatto. Marianne, it's your final word.
Is your final where you performed the Ulgi on YouTube?
Yes, where I sound like a dog toy because I whistle too much. Yes.
Okay.
What do you think about Suska?
One of the best to ever do it, ever.
And I don't like to compare, but Suska and Trotter.
Ooh.
Or Maxime, for example. Because
It's interesting.
all the people speak for both, no?
It's interesting.
There are different ways to do the patterns.
They are.
Your hero, Stephen Tapilatu, is here. Hello, Stephen.
Hello,
The
Stephen.
dragon. Hey, good to see you. I'm training with him this weekend. Everybody, train with him this weekend. He has a class going on. DM him. It's going to be amazing.
We saw on Facebook.
Yeah, it's going to be good. To compare them, it's so difficult because at that level, especially at 4th through 6th degree, you're often going to see the best people in the world. And so to really have to judge at those very fine details, you have to really break it down, because just looking at it, two people back to back doing the same pattern, they look perfect together. I mean, it's very similar to watching Silvia and Axel, if they're still watching. It's very similar. Even the way they land, their feet will be pointed the same way. It's fascinating to watch, but it's the best in the world. Pay attention to those fine details.
Ha detto che soprattutto nelle categorie, per esempio quarto e sesto dan, è molto difficile vedere, bisogna trovare proprio piccolissimi dettagli. Ha detto per esempio adesso che erano collegati Axel e Silvio, vederli gareggiare insieme è anche complicato, quindi anche gli arbitri devono essere molto attenti a trovare questi piccolissimi dettagli, perché a livelli alti sembrano comunque perfette tutte e due le forme.
And the rules, how you evaluate the patterns, for you it's positive or negative, this kind of system?
I like the system. I just started, the first time I ever did an umpiring event was at the Warrior Open. And that was the first time I've ever gotten to use the electronic score system. They do it here in the States, but typically only for the very big events like Queen's Taekwondo's annual tournament or nationals. Otherwise, we use the flag system. And so
Yes.
I prefer the electronic scoring system so I can see how the judges are scoring. And so I can make my determinations of, okay, maybe I need to add more power. I really need to watch my balance. I need to make sure my flow is good. I like that feedback. I like to be able to see, okay, I'm down by 2. I really messed up that landing. I know where I can make up for it in the next pattern. I like the system. I just wish I was faster with the math to figure it out.
Sorry, last part, think?
I just wish I was faster with the math involved to figure it out.
With the matter? No, I
math, arithmetic.
Sorry?
With the arithmetic, with the math, to figure it out.
Ah, ok. Bueno, praticamente lei ha detto che nella gara di marzo lei ha fatto di arbitro, che è normale negli Stati Uniti utilizzano la bandiera, eccetto nella gara molto importante come il Queens, campionato nazionali, eccetera, che preferisce
il sistema elettronico, esatto. Perché così c'è anche dei feedback.
Sa dove sta sbagliando, l'equilibrio con las matemáticas. Con la matematica che devi restare. Dice Carlo? Ah. Sí. Tenés que hacer matemática para saber cómo va el puntaje. Yeah, he said, Carlo, that you must do mathematics to know.
It is. You have to be very quick with math, very quick with it.
Yes, e deve essere molto veloce e vedere tutti i dettagli. And about this kind of system, because you take out point.
You minus the points.
Yes, minus point every time. Minus point. Not look like negative.
Exactly. It's just deductions. Yeah.
Because you cannot do it in all the championship, because in a middle level, 0 points.
Exactly.
Ho chiesto se, come il sistema fa solo togliere i punti, si non è un po' come guardandolo come una cosa negativa, visto perché a livello internazionale o a livello mondiale con persone importanti magari non si togliano tanti punti, però a un livello medio la forma finisce in 0 punto, perché 0, quindi è un po' anche forte. Cioè dice che quisiera ser más rápido con la matemática. Ah, ok. Gracias por la traducción, Carlos. He's
helping.
Yes. Okay, we have the last question, okay, for today. It's about what do you think for the people, for this situation that we are, everybody?
What do you want to suggest to the people? That
Positive.
Stay
What
home,
are the positive things?
the opportunity of this situation.
All positive. What people can
Well,
do.
it's interesting. A few years ago, a very close friend asked me, what happens if you can't compete anymore? If there's no more competitions, will you still love Taekwondo? I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened.
No, it was
After
because
1 hour,
Instagram.
Ah, okay. I've never done this before.
The first time it's happened.
Okay.
And the second and the third, because
Okay.
every time we forget it.
I talk too much. That's me.
So, ho chiesto
My-
a Ariela
wait, what was a positive note I could leave it on?
Sorry?
You asked me what positive note I could leave this on?
Yes.
My point was that even though there's no competitions going on right now, for the competitors out there, this is your chance to find where you fell in love with this art again. I'm forced to do the same thing where I'm focusing on my basics, and the next event will hopefully be the World Cup.
Yes.
But until then, just keep training at home. There's so many classes going on throughout the world virtually right now that unless you're sick, there's really no excuse not to get up and train with people that you wouldn't normally be able to throughout other countries.
Allora, ha detto che adesso non ci sono gare, e stava dicendo prima che si interrompesse la conversazione che qualche anno fa una sua amica le aveva detto cosa faresti se non
poteva
se non
continuare il
potessi,
taekwondo.
esatto, fare gare o praticare, e quindi lei ha detto adesso di stare concentrati e allenarsi, e ha detto magari il prossimo obiettivo speriamo sia la Coppa del Mondo a ottobre, ma comunque a prescindere di continuare a lavorare, di concentrarsi su se stessi
e ci sono molta attività che potete vedere.
Che adesso questa è un'opportunità appunto di potersi anche allenare anche con persone dall'altra parte del mondo, come stiamo facendo insomma con le lezioni online, e quindi anche quella è una grande opzione e opportunità.
That's enough. Okay.
All right.
Every time I stop you, so I ask you first. So we are agree with you. This is a big opportunity for people to learn.
Exactly.
To do many things that we don't do it because
exactly.
we have the stress. We couldn't sleep, and so this is a good opportunity. Like now with you.
Exactly. It's perfect.
All that they are looking you. So
yeah, that's it.
We had a very.
We enjoy a lot.
Yes.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for
sorry
staying.
for our English.
No, I'm sorry I speak so fast. When I get excited, I talk very fast. I'm sorry.
Next time
Spanish
or Italian.
Yes, I'll work on it. I'll work on my Spanish. I'm in classes now.
Ok, perfetto.
Grazie a tutti per stare qua. Vi ricordiamo, lunedì ci sarà Soledad Serrano, ok? On Monday we have Soledad Serrano speaking.
Yeah, I'll be watching that one for sure.
Siete tutti invitati anche alle lezioni che stiamo facendo online per bambini o per adulti. Trovate tutte le informazioni anche su Instagram. Grazie a tutti per seguirci, per i messaggi, per tutti i commenti che ci state mandando. Thank you to all the people for the message.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being interested. Thank you for staying safe and staying indoors.
Yeah.
So, take care there, okay?
Thank you guys. Stay safe. Ciao.
Touch, okay?
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Ciao.